But we talk about getting back to that inner child. That's the key. You see what I'm saying? And if you can do that and all, you can work magic. You see what I'm saying? Where you don't worry as much. So we have to become an optimistic freak. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, and I know it's a lot of strenuous things, but it's even this, we celebrating this goddess Lakshmi. The goddess Lakshmi, see if I got the overlay of the goddess Lakshmi, which is the goddess of wealth and prosperity. The goddess of wealth and prosperity. This is the goddess Lakshmi, which is connected with Sekhmet, which is the goddess of wealth and prosperity. Let's see if we can. Hold up. You know this is an ancient sister. That wealth and that prosperity comes when you stop worrying about money and finances. So what do they say? A sister told me about 10 years ago. She was channeling from the spirit realm. She said, follow knowledge, and money will run to you. Right. Follow money, and money will run from you. You never get on top of money.
Never. Right.
You don't think so? It's something called a mailbox. As soon as you think you got shit paid off, you walk out to the mailbox, here's another bill. So this is a never-ending story to keep you trapped forever. So don't worry about it. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
Love, lift, life. We touch into your mind, body, and soul.
This is a Homage beat.
What up, my people? Dreamwise here for a quick one. When I was a kid, my mama used to drag us to church every Sunday. Sundays, Bible study, Wednesdays, church meetings, church picnics, Fridays, prayer meetings. We went to church so much that not only did we know everybody's name, we knew everybody's business too. Just imagine as a kid you hearing about Sister Sandra leaving her husband of 20 years to be with a dude that has a little bit more money. Or Brother Ed is still strung out on crack and he still be getting up in front of the church talking about, I feel good. I don't need that rock anymore. Jesus, you're all I need. It was a whole bunch of problems in the church and no one was getting helped. It seemed like the same stories over and over again. Y'all remember when they used to get up in front of the church and confess their problems? The one constant, consistent thing I used to know when they got up in front of the church to speak their truth is it was always about money. Money problem after money problem after money problem. Some kind of financial situation. I was real observant as a kid. Meanwhile, the pastor asked for tithes, offerings, building funds, feed the homeless offering. Pastor need a new pair of shoes fund. Now, as a kid, you're thinking this money is going to God and he's going to solve all your problems. When you become a teenager, you start to realize that this money is going to the pastor while he pulls up in his 5th and 6th car. My family and I was pulling up in a 2-seater Honda that can barely fit my brother and I. And my mama would just happily drag us along to church once again. I used to fearfully ask my mama questions.
Oh, shit.
Mama, I know you can see and been hearing about Pastor Montgomery buying all these fancy cars and jewelry. And here go my mama with her naive ass. Well, if you're a man of the Lord, you should be blessed with nice things. Meanwhile, the whole church is feeling that pastor is winning off of them, and they're starting to get impatient with Jesus. Nobody's blessings was coming in. And then, well, y'all know what happens. See, don't act like you never been to church. Y'all know what happens. Pastor starts feeling that energy, and he gives his motivating speech about stop looking at what the pastor has. Y'all not focusing on Jesus. He starts rubbing that shit in your face. And voila, the offering and tithes keep rolling in. I used to be in such amazement on how he used to trick people to give them their dollars. Even if it was their last dollar to their name. Poor people giving their last in the name of Jesus. And the bigger problem was their blessings wasn't coming in. It was literally steal from the poor and give to the rich. The pastor do one charitable donation a year and will blow that up in his sermon. Like, look at me, I told y'all. Your money's going to good use. Say, man, money is an energy. Being successful is an energy. When you're coming from a state of hoping and wishing or praying to get more abundance and success, you're literally in a poor mindset. We have to understand that all this thinking about money and worrying about bills and wanting to buy things that don't serve us, you're in a constant state of survival mode. Look at the word survive. That means continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship. Your mindset is placing you into hardship. You have to deprogram that way of thinking and come from a place of successful, abundance, prosperity. When I was in that survival mode mindset, I was always just getting by, living paycheck to paycheck, moving from cheap apartment to cheap apartment, living real frugal. Don't want to spend money because I was worried about not having enough for certain things. I had to deprogram that mindset that was placed upon me. Now, I am a gentleman of leisure who doesn't want for shit and wants to learn and seek knowledge of self. I went from stressing and worrying about how I'm going to pay my rent to letting it all go and never late on my mortgage. What happened? What shifted? I got out of my own way. I literally gave up and my prosperity started coming in. Seeking and searching for myself, I manifested into some money and different opportunities to propel me into working for myself. Why did this happen? Well, one, I got into myself, and from getting into myself, I started doing my self-deification. See, we're still public school training, teaching in your work. We're still looking for action, reaction. Why are we not seeing or understanding the importance of self-deifying? When you self-deify, you become these energies or deities. Plug, Ashe cards. And you gain light. You gain light by invoking these energies within you. You'll start feeling subtle changes in your day-to-day living. Some changes you won't even notice, but you are vibrating from a different space. If y'all ain't on self-deification yet, y'all need to get into that ASAP. Letting go of humanity and studying and understanding yourself will put you in a place of power. Meditating and really honestly dealing with your fears will help you overcome these emotions. These emotions that's leading you to have a poor mindset. And it's not corny or funny style like that. Let this shit go. You have to come into a place into your heart where you can say, okay, I give up the worrying and stressing. I'm going to find out who I am and do it to my utmost abilities. Get out of survival mode. Get out of survival mode. This is an illusion, and the demiurge is trying to put its problems on you. It's going to do that. It's constantly going to fuck with you if you let it. Even when you first start getting out of survival mode, it's going to push and say, uh-oh, he's trying to get rid of me. I better cause him some more problems to keep him in my grasp. Don't even let that bullshit get to you. When I first gave up and got into myself, it felt like the problems increased tenfold. It didn't matter. I pushed through and said, fuck it. I want to understand who I am and what makes me tick. I kept the love for myself and didn't let the demiurge get to me. Now that demiurge energy is trying to chase me, as it's giving me things I don't even expect sometimes. Trying to reel me back into this world. But I'm surpassed that. I truly understand my ancestors have my back and I don't have to worry about the struggles of the day. My emotions are not tied to the bills. I've done the work through self-deification, meditation, and imagination. It's time for us to do the same. Step into your power and let this world go. Yeah, you're having a human experience, but why is that at the top of your plate? Release yourself of this demiurge energy and come into your chaos being power. Creator, manifester, God. Dream wise.